What a fun question. Is the JD a master's degree or a doctorate? And why aren't lawyers addressed as doctors? Fun question. A JD is a Juris Doctorate. It is an actual doctorate that we obtain. Typically, we need an undergraduate degree, so a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. After that, we go on to law school, which is 3 years. After law school, we are given a doctorate degree or a Juris Doctor degree. Now, some people refer to this as a doctorate of jurisprudence, and there are lots of different ways that we can go about addressing people that have a JD. We typically use an ESQ or an Esquire after our name instead of a doctor in front of it because there tends to be a lot of confusion when you refer to someone as a doctor. We're not medical doctors, although it is a doctorate equivalent to a PhD or an MD. Depending on which part of the country you're in, you may be referred to as an attorney or a lawyer, depending on that local vernacular. Going forward and being able to actually practice law, we need to obtain a license, a law license within our jurisdiction. Each state has its own exam that you have to take, and it's a very difficult exam. Once you pass it, then you are approved by whatever powers that be. In my state, it's my Supreme Court, and we are sworn in and can practice law. We have to have a license in order to practice. We make sure we get continuing legal education every year, including ethics and diversity in my state, and we can go forward and practice so long as we maintain that license like any other licensed profession. Now, if we do go on and choose to teach, some of us do prefer to go by doctor if we're teaching, and some of us prefer to go by professor, depending on what the situation is. My preference when I'm teaching has always been professor, but many other attorneys prefer the term doctor. It will depend on your jurisdiction. It'll depend on what the local rules are. But typically, we do not use the term doctor when we're talking with other people because it can lead to confusion. But that's just a personal choice and something within our profession that's just kind of one of those common knowledge or traditional bits that we've used over time. So if you see someone with an Esquire after their name or referred to as an attorney or a lawyer or counselor or professor or doctor, all of those can cover people who have graduated from law school with a degree. Now, if you hear someone say they're licensed, that means they did go forward, take the exam, and were approved by whatever regulations are required to practice law in their jurisdiction.